plan made her do it, huh? Jeez, kinda preachy. Keep it in the monastery, lady.
Looks like the second choice has got a new shipment of swill. Gave it a try. Needs some aging, but not too bad.
What? I was just with Barney. He
Welcome
said
to
we're
the
not getting
true
any new
free
shipments
market
for
friend.
months. What did he let you try?
Well, I maybe didn't run it by him. It was out of a big metal barrel behind the bar. Said Auntie's finest star.
That wasn't booze. That was shipments.
Really? Barney's just selling it, and it's better than half his stock.
Lose a piece of jewelry? Buy it back at a very reasonable price.
Can't chit-chat. I got a line on something big at the moment.
Sorry, pal. You look a tad too upscale for us to do business.
I was under the impression that Free Market Station was open to all. Why am I being accosted?
Free Market Station is open to all, except spies. It's awful. Hope that wayward science type didn't disturb you much, friend. We of the station normally do our best to dissuade partisans from making nuisances of themselves. Suppose I can't stop you. Just don't let her convince you to do anything that might put you at odds with our security forces. All that aside, enjoy your time on the station. Don't get into any trouble.
Greetings. Are you perhaps interested in advancing the knowledge of Arcadia's history through scientific exploration? What am I saying? Of course you are. Please, do tell me anything you might know about the crash of the ACS Free Market. Could Auntie's choice have succeeded where order experiments failed? Oh, you're being duplicitous. No Sprat corpses were found in the initial crash site. Do pardon my forwardness. I saw that you were a new arrival, but I held out some hope that you might be able to enlighten me where the station populace has not. As an archivist, it's my duty to collect and record hitherto unrecorded knowledge wherever it can be found. But my earnest questions have been met with suspicion. That's great. I can offer you a stipend from my exploratory budget for anything you might manage to discover. Converse with the locals, peer into unturned corners, and see what your able hand might unearth. I look forward to furthering the cause of history with you. I'd ask about in the saloon and the bazaar. Both are places where gossip flies about like so many tarot rays. Sub Rosa likely has some information about the crash, but I'm not sure where. You also might be able to find some intact portion of the ship amidst all of the station's wreckage. Take a look around. I'm sure you'll be able to get farther on your own.
Thanks for visiting Free Market Station. Pleasure is all ours.
You just bought a shooter from not a weapons store, right? How's it treating you?
It ain't. Can't eat the sprats I shoot with it. Since they keep disintegrating.
Did you have download for a replacement?
Nah. Bought one of our resident doctor's dental tools instead. Looks fierce.
contraptions don't explode no more. Honest.
Listen, I know I shouldn't warn you about this, but anything I sell you runs the risk of exploding. I trust you'll appreciate my forthrightness and be all the more willing to buy from me. No. Ships decidedly ain't in my purview. You sure I can't interest you in some bric-a-brac instead of this conversation? I don't think that'd be smart. I need to keep my mind free of trauma if I want to improve my workflow. I'd be happy to show you.
Tired of firearms that explode in your face? Come to Not a Weapons Store. Think I misplaced a hand grenade. We'll know in a couple seconds if it's armed or not. Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfection. Feel free to go on a murderous rampage with what you buy. It's good publicity. Mind telling me if I still got both my eyebrows up? Feel free.
Buy from me, please? Yeah.
Doctor here. Get your stitches. If you're here about a toothache, you've come to the right place. If you're here bleeding from a dozen bullet wounds, I suppose I can help with that too. If you've wounds that need stitching or teeth that need scrutiny, I'm your doctor. Medicaments and more, all sufficiently regulated or thereabouts.
Get caught unawares all you like.
Look, everyone else here? Nothing you buy from them will matter if you get killed. So armor up. Tell me what you need. Can do. Protect your loved ones, protect yourself. Buy some new armor today.
Firearms that explode? Explode in your face? Come to not a weapon! Weapon store!
beginning to reach the tail end of my patience. You will tell me the location of the broker.
Lad, you ain't got much of a concept of a deal, do you? You ain't got nothing to offer, and a threat is offering less than nothing.
You realize any other arbiter would have crushed you where you stand for obstruction of justice long before now? That I am flowing with magnanimity?
Can't say I know what that word means, but if you're inclined to keep threatening me, only thing gonna be flowing is your blood out your body. Stranger, seen my fix? Hope you're about to offer to rid me of this damn fool.
You cannot dissuade an arbiter from their sovereign-given duty, no matter how much of an irritant you may attempt to be. Hardly. I could handle myself against the locals quite easily. If by some miracle they managed to fell me, High Command would cease to overlook this settlement's existence. But I have no desire for unnecessary violence at this time. The Sovereign shall retake this settlement eventually, and meanwhile, it is useful for my aims.
Keep dreaming, bootlicker. You can preach honor all you like. It ain't gonna make me trust you any more than I already don't.
I came to meet with the information broker for, Protectorate business, Protectorate reasons. However, I find myself foiled at near every turn. None within the Protectorate would defy an arbiter and expect to live. Regrettably, I cannot make the locals see reason without rendering myself unable to learn what I seek.
Even polite entreaties don't see most getting an invite to the broker. And you've been anything but.
Are you daft? Do you understand how diplomatic I am being simply by staying my hand? Any other arbiter would have executed you all where you stand.
You're just so merciful it makes me blush. I'm sure your staying your hand has nothing to do with the armed guards watching your every move. No matter what this fella says, he's not going to convince me to trust him. He's a walking security risk.
Hilarious.
That's funny. That's real funny. Takes a lot to set me smiling. Have a drink on the house. I just had a thought. Might be something that needs looking into. Maybe something that would allow me to make an exception as to who visits the broker? Within the Golden Ridge locale on Dorado, there's a refugee camp. It's unassuming, quiet-like. Most of the folks there just want to be left alone. They see to the few needs they have by working with the broker, but we ain't heard from them in a fortnight and change. Serves to reason something untoward may have transpired there. You see your way to looking into that, maybe we'll talk. I don't fancy the idea of letting an arbiter loose on our allies without supervision. Might not know you, but anything's better than giving him complete freedom.
I do not take your speaking of me as some kind of feral canid lightly.
That's between them and Sub Rosa. You in or you out? Great! Take the lap canid with you. I've had enough of his excitability, and so have my customers.
I don't claim to be pleased with the circumstances surrounding this co-investigation, but perhaps we may surprise one another. I'm Arbiter Tristan Rao. When I was an apprentice, yes, but not since. And certainly never with an outsider. I shall meet you at the camp. Let us hope we both arrive there intact.
Come now, Prospero, you've been on that stage hundreds of times. This perturbation looks bad on you. and you're not one for looking bad. Terribly sorry you've got me ruminating. A man of my persuasion shouldn't stoop to such self-deprecation, especially in front of prospective customers. You've identified me properly. But information transference is the lifeblood of Free Market Station, and if you want a transfusion, you'll have to grant me a spot of help. I'm in charge of keeping the patrons of the saloon entertained. Normally this does not present an issue, but I learned that an old flame of mine shall attend my next performance. My resolve is uncharacteristically flagging. I find myself fixating on the most minute of issues. I need something to bolster my confidence. Liquid courage has never failed me, but I have a discerning palate. The Automech chef in the bazaar sells my preferred brand of alcohol, though it can be headstrong. You see, I can't just drink any old swill from the bar. My refined palate can only stomach one drink. Iceberg-aged whiskey. Something of a collector's item, I'm told. Now, if you'll excuse me, an artist must be granted solitude to properly amass his mental forces.
Trouble ahead.
My lucky day. Spotted me a wanted criminal. Yeah, very good. Our business is concluded.
Another challenger approaches. Prepare to be sent weeping from my curio collection. None have defeated my collections, and none shall. But I do so delight in a competition. Are you prepared to do battle? Cards, my dear, of the toss ball and pitch ball variety. I must see if your collection bests my own. Sporting! Let us do battle! A not unimpressive display, closing in on my own. With perhaps a handful more, you just might defeat me. But today, you do not. I cannot open my wares to any unless their collections rival my own. I hope you understand. Feel free to return once you have bolstered your ranks. But know that you shall still not defeat me.
My gear has the fewest holes. Auntie's Choice thanks you for... never mind that. Sorry. Force of habit. If you're in need of spruce, I got rag. You need coveralls, we got coveralls.
Sorry, got bootlegging to do.
Shop here to acquire fine food for cheap. Preparing sniveling servitude protocol complete. Greetings, most valued and attractive customer. What may this unit rehydrate for you? All wares were...
If you lost it, I'm selling it.
As it happens, standing in one place and focusing on not being nervous does not, in fact, help one not be nervous. My friend, excellent. Thank you. Very well, you wish to know about the crash, yes? Are you prepared for a sordid tale of drama and woe? Everyone knows that the free market's captain was a hopeless romantic, especially disposed to giving too much of her heart to those inclined to break it. The final betrayal came from a dashing rogue smuggler who vanished with most of her bits. The good captain had about all she could endure. Indeed she did. The crew attempted to wrest the controls from her to save them from their fate, but alas, too late. That's all I know. I thank you for your help once again, and now I must get ready for my set.
I just don't get why we have to buy our own weapons from our own merchants.
Greetings. How has the data collection fared? Finally, a breakthrough. Let's hear it. How did the ACS free market meet its end? It sounds like Auntie's choice security measures leave something to be desired. I'll mark that down. Aside from the crash, what occurred in the ship's final moments? An incompetent captain and an incompetent crew. Tisk tisk. Last question. Were there any contributing factors to the crash? Anything that might recontextualize what actually happened? Scuttling an entire freighter and killing hundreds, all for a few extra bits. Interesting to know. Thanks to you, my report is complete. Here, something for your considerable help. Auntie's Choice seems to be inundated with its own problems, technical and personnel alike. We should have ample opportunity to use this for propaganda purposes. I am. If Free Market Station survives the war, this will be a very important historical account. But if the order fails in Arcadia, none of that will matter. I'm just making the most of what you gave me. Oh, I'd be happy to. Anyone willing to further the Order's aims should be treated as a friend, in my mind. Now I need to get this report to my superiors. Thanks again.
and live to tell
Anybody
your
even
fellows
listening
about
to
my
this?
store.
Let me sell you stuff.
Hello once more. I guarantee you some of my inventions will be working soon, but none taken. I never intended to be. But when life breaks your jaw and shoots out your knees, may as well learn to get good at crawling, right? Oh, I prefer to focus on the present and the future, and not things that may or may not keep me awake in the dark and lonesome hours of the night. You'd need to purchase much more from my stock for me to consider. Be happy to show you.
Latest contraband came in. Looked like quite the haul. Couple dozen
Infections overnight, then smooths away stubborn wrinkles. Auntie's Choice Immunosol. Multi-spectrum antibiotics and convenient injection package. Leo and Pal. Tender. Boneless. It's a sandwich you want to eat.
with Earth Directorate HQ before committing resources to search and rescue.
We got bases down there. If one of them got hit, then that strike will be the first of many.
Will not. Good subjects arrive 15 minutes early to avoid missing their train.
This station must have really bitten something before the war made its home here. If things escalate, like, never be something again.
This is your 2061st reminder to keep all personal items with you at all times. The plan can wait. Our lines will not. Attention, passenger. You are running 21,027.5 hours late to your train. Please be mindful of your departure in the future.
Folk were hunkered down here. Wonder how long they held out before. Well, best not to think about it.
Matriarch's Mercy lies directly ahead. This unit is ready to proceed when you are, Commander.
Contemplative calculation. The upper hall is for somber intense speculation.
Please, somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally, some help. We desperately need aid. Desperately. My family and I, we was making our way to the Mercy camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The Varachnids, I chased them off, but they'll be back. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please. I don't... Vary, by my guess. She was bit on the thigh, high, like, can see bone. Or maybe white means infected? She's screaming all the time when she's awake. Then she goes to sleep. She's in agony. And my son ain't waked since the attack. Hurry, please. We must hurry, or I... Thank you. Thank you. This way, this way.
mercy there, Commander.
Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's Mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. That a fact? Well, I was going to give you a friendly warning, but since you don't have the time, I'll leave you to wonder. So be it. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy.
I remember this place before the war. Functioning tramiculars. Peaceful silence of the cannons.
I can't recall the last time this region was silent.
I swear, it's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains in these parts.
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Not to worry. I'm fine. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Broke my nose last. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now. Okay, no need to get sore or nothing. I don't think it works like that, but I ain't gotta be right. I don't get paid to, speculate. You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan.
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borsloaf.
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her Mapother and Mudge sent you.
This location is inhabited with individuals classified as unscrupulous. Maintain scrutiny over personal finances.
You got business? No? Move on. You the fixer-lyncher aide to Agent Galloway? Don't suppose you got that crawling hibiscus she promised to sneak me, huh? Forget it. You can come in. Hello. You're the one that aided us in availing Sub Rosa of a rather large shipment of Spectrum vodka, yes? Agent Galloway is slightly less trustful than most feral canids, so winning her over speaks volumes of your character. Consequently, I'm pleased to present you purchase access to my fine wares. It's fortunate you're no stranger to contraband. Savvier than you look. Might be that I've got an agent over by the Guardian Estates that I haven't heard from in a spell. If you perhaps find yourself over that way, and perhaps make sure that the aforementioned agent hasn't been torn limb from limb, Sub Rosa would be most grateful. Idle browsers will be escorted from the premises.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your corner of the yurt. Am I right? Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention. Oh, really? Like they strung a few words together in a row and it all made sense? That's a marked improvement on earlier. Guessing they left out a bunch, though. Here in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument, but frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah, this guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off real customers. I got a bunch of yeggs, 2 pugilized pugilists, and a cicanid to feed.
Look, your nose was just a stand-in for Duarte.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict with an
We're not going anywhere. Not on the basis of some half-baked prediction. Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, the voice of the displaced. That's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import. Though, admittedly, it's a difficult way to make friends. The Order's not exactly fond of me. Rabble-rousing doesn't align with their vision of a perfect universe. Happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me. The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of disaster. Screw their predictions. We have people. Displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. Chance of life-threatening peril from a yet-to-be-determined catastrophe were the administrant's words. Not what I would call specific. I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but you, maybe you'll have better luck. I got a pretty fancy gun I was issued back when I was a rising star at Auntie's. Side with us, and it's yours. Even throw in a healthy amount of bits for your troubles. Thanks, stranger. Maybe fate's on our side for a change. You can find Agarwal in the lift building. Probably formulating another equation to get on my nerves.
What happened to this place? Law.
Since the schism,
Matriarch's Mercy is more
the
faithful than
Protectorate have
intentions.
rewritten his... Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. Oh, I must remember that one for the next time I schedule a moment of mirthful hilarity. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Perhaps some other time we can debate the theoretical complexities involved. But I fear I must get back to my duties. These laypersons won't enlighten themselves.
Attention Order acolytes, perfection now exists in sandwich form. Our scienticians have created the perfect BLT sandwich. It is balanced, layered, and tasteful. You may cease your search for complete lunchtime.
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Oh yeah, Duarte. He's former aunties like me. He was underneath for a few hours. Or, no, that was before. This time it was Rollo Nast? No. Gert Valkenburg. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone. So they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Order won't listen. Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes. They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much.
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little salt.
Thus, if we compare the rates of... And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Oh, doesn't everyone have that memorized? It's 1.77245385. Ah, I see you were making a jest and/or attempt at conversation. Anything else? Typically, no. And it has been somewhat challenging focusing my concentration. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the Crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. They must be exceptionally pleased with the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy. Numbers here are pretty compelling. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors: longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to it I shall get.
Reminds me of Tau Ceti right after the merger.
The meaning of life
Had to
is
wait for my
in
number to be called just
and
to get
we are
rations
the
and a
keepers
cop.
of the equation.
Hope these folk don't have to wait as long.
Oh! Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. Good. I'm most focused on what's relevant to me these days. I used to listen to the wireless, read periodicals, all that useless junk. Complete waste of time, I tell you. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, "Rolo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today." I borrowed one, as a laugh. Everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. If you want an exact estimate or percentage, talk to them. As for me, I just got that, anecdotal feedback. A few times, I couldn't make heads or tail of half of it. Like, avoid anything representing whole numbers? I didn't know what to do about that. So I just stayed put. End of the day, I'm still here, and my co-occupant Ike isn't. So, I guess them prognostications work well enough. You did catch the part I said they'd save my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. You may peruse to your heart's content, but do so speedily for my sake.
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so choose your words with expediency. Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you? Don't bother. My prognostication report listed an 85.2% probability we'd have this conversation. This is about the exclusion zone, correct? I keep forgetting you're a newcomer and unfamiliar to these parts. The exclusion zone is a mere corner of Matriarch's Mercy, and rightfully off limits. You see, the Seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must not be crossed. But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. Surely. But the abbot asked me to be personally responsible for their continued well-being. The Seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you heard me right. Death. Furthermore, and I quote, "An outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute." And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold. I have some custom-made order armor I never use. I can also allocate some funds from my budget. At least, I can provide that if you side our way. That's more than the voice can offer. So, do we have a deal? The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both be right. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started? These are the data points we need. Keep at it then. Precision is ever our ideal. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, we will decide the fate of the exclusion zone.
By the law. It's you. It's you.
You're right. The universe does not orient itself toward fairness. But it's my firm belief humanity can do better.
All evidence to the contrary.
Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself. As a doctor, I'm appalled. We don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so sickness is blazing an unhappy trail through the refugees. Of course, the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long as we're overcrowded. Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Since you asked, you can run this medicine to Horst Lambing. Just don't shake the man's hand. He has a habit of coughing into his palm when he covers it at all. You see, the Seers are members of the Order who labor over the universal equation. Even in its unfinished state, the equation gives them the means to predict the future. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are, a dashing outsider standing before me. Strictly speaking, it isn't. Not yet. But the math is very, very, very good at predicting what is probably most likely extremely possible. In theory. Within a margin of error. Anyway, that is the Seer's business. My business is the health and welfare of this camp. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's Mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them. My thanks, stranger. Probability is on our side. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability into disarray. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. How can I be of service? Since you aren't a refugee, I hope you understand that I cannot offer my goods free of charge, but my prices are fair.
I've pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostics report both mentioned encountering an unforeseen factor about now. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an imprecise science. Currently, that is. Well, then, I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible and advanced calculations using well-honed models to effectuate it. None of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths. More what to watch out for, advisement on adhering to the plan, forecasts of probabilistic dangers, elements of larger predictions made relevant to groups and individuals. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented mathematicians. After years of study, some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate with up to 71.1% accuracy several months out. Of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, incalculable variables, all of them can undercut the accuracy of our predictions. But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known knowns. You follow?
Determines what packets of light will be emitted, while stellar temperature determines the frequency of light and hence.
True, my situation does lack a certain refinement. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's mercy. We all must do the best we can with limited means. Matriarch's mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to better our guests' existence. Why, I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area.
So why are there no green stars?
I share the very same surprise. Engagement is admittedly rather low, but at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly.
It's because any star emitting green light also emits bluish and or reddish light too, resulting in a non-green star. There is no naturally occurring stellar composition.
One of our recent guests, Rollo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to the effectiveness of our ways firsthand. If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well.
Famous stellar cartographer. The methodology of the Odescard's chromospectral survey was straightforward. He partitioned his
I foresee you have much to do. I won't keep you. Adieu.
in every grid. He ignored empty regions, as black would only give the color, not change.
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability?
If I may interject, High Scholar, don't you agree our time would be better utilized on more relevant discourse?
Seer Wiley's right, as always. Obviously, we've all more important things to do than to stand around trifling with truth tables. Perhaps later then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge? DeVries. Now, why does that name ring familiar? Landon, do you recall a DeVries?
I don't generally concern myself with passers-through. If this DeVries was not a member of the Order, then it's unlikely we ever exchanged mats. Victor Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the En-Ray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution.
What business is it of yours?
Let's not be unfriendly. The agent's only curious. Obviously, Victor's work has something to do with En-Rays, but beyond that, I haven't a clue. More of that pesky compartmentalization, I'm afraid. Besides the highly caustic Zeranium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay. Victor is dedicated. Single-minded, one could say. I've always thought highly of his analytical skills as a researcher, less so his social ones, perhaps. Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. It is apparent to me now that the presiding bishop, in her unfailing calculations, sent you here so that we may be of assistance to one another. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Anti's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactory. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Thank you for proving my thesis statement.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace.
And here I was under the impression that investigating crime and injustice was primarily what Earth Directorate agents do.
That is correct, citizen. From one galaxy to the next, the Earth Directorate is on your side.
Nice catchphrase. Sounds like something straight out of Auntie's marvelously multiloquent marketeer training program.
At any rate, I trust whatever's uncovered over the course of this investigation will serve as compensation enough. Before you dash off, here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory should you decide to look into matters there. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes if you return with any new findings.
You have an abundance of valid options for your next mission destination, Commander. N-Ray Range. Welcome. Uranium Manufactory. Or Outpost Opportunity.
Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings. Talk about close quarters.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders.
stranger. The order bids you welcome, but also warnings.
Hello? Someone's there? Yes? Did the missive not play, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? If so, to be clear, Zerania Manufactory 7 presently and for an indeterminate time is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Yet, how do I know you're not one of their number? An advanced party sent to control me into swinging free open the gate. What our consumerist rivals lack in intellectual rigor, they readily make up for in subterfuge and guile. Anyone can name drop our supreme calculator. Might as well say you're close personal friends while you're at it. We don't have time for your... Oh, yeah, sir, let me just...
Arbiter Maytunier here. You claim you were invited by our presiding bishop? I read a missive from her on a key prediction due in this time frame. You match its broad details. Oh. Very well. Come inside and we'll see this sorted. Building on the left.
Not getting down below until you talk to me. So, the abbot deigned to send someone whilst we're contending with all manner of emergencies, did he? Wait, is that an Auntie's Choice enhanced soldier with you? Oh, I see what this is. Stay back. We have no desire to escalate things further. Don't do something you'll regret.
We want answers, not a fight. And if indeed there's any retribution to be had, it won't be by my hand. Tell him, Commander.
Till we ascertain the truth here, you'll understand if I remain cautious. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda below. I'll send word you're en route, but fair warning, I cannot predict what reception you will receive. I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. The recent attack may have originated from this facility, but I assure you it was not at our hand. We have no desire to resume open warfare with Auntie's Choice. One of our transport pods filled with Zeranium was diverted toward, or more specifically at, their location. Though functionally correct, I assure you. The transport pods are fired into space, where they are collected for redistribution. To date, no one has ever misused them for this purpose, despite the explosive nature of the material. Fortunately, we have potentially identified the culprit, and we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below, which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the manufactory operations. No, it doesn't add up particularly well, does it? Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch controls. Though steadfastly maintaining her innocence, she has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below. A move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query yield favorable results.
Evidently originated here. Transport pod full of Zeranium. Blue outpost opportunity to naught but tinges and flinders.
So, has it been classified as an accident? Or
This unit beautifully acknowledges your presence.
Proctor's a low-functioning functionary at best. I mean, just look at this mess. An explosion.
Well, running a manufactory must require extraordinary
are you doing up here? How did you get past the gate? Forgive me. All this business with the lockdown puts one on edge. Everything appeared routine at the time. We launch transport pods into space regularly. They get collected. The Zeranium we refine here is used for power. It wasn't until we heard the explosion that anyone knew anything out of the ordinary had happened. I ran a systems audit on the launch sequence afterwards. Just finished constructing a report on my findings, actually, if you'd like to hear it. A transport pod full of Zeranium was fired from here, at Outpost Opportunity. It subsequently exploded in spectacular fashion. Terminal input functions down below in operations. The low-ranking scientist who launched the pod is inside. Regrettably, that is all I know. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Initiate Alva, stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast?
I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at once.
Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Classification initiated. What's her name took over?
Not clear to speak with random factors.
Ah, yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, strangers sent by the Abbot, gallivanting about amidst a lockdown. If we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. It's less what happened than who happened. Initiate Alva, that is. A low-level subordinate, assigned here years ago. Her role was to launch transport pods of volatile Zeranium to collection points in space. Not at the outposts of our rivals. Those poor, short-sighted commercialists. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, Alva seized command of the system and locked herself in the control center. She then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Poor Jacobs lost a hand trying to pry free the outer doors. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. I am so pleased a reliable party is actively engaged. I'll be in my office. Let me know once she's no longer a problem.
This is important. Note you described the Varakni's curse as slavering when it attacked. How much this... Viscous fluid. Fluid would you estimate?
I don't know anything about the fluid's volume. Thing attacked. I shot it. There's goo all over the spot it emerged. Measure that, maybe.
course she's hiding something. You think those two exemplars
exemplars,
just
dead
wrong?
as Pythagoras.
They're hardly prone to involuntary
No
self-injury.
one's been inside operation since. Just a run-of-the-mill golden mean mission.
Now listen to yourself. You're disproving your own substantiation.
For actions proved otherwise, I contend.
Investigator?
Yeah.
May circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Alva's been here for how many years?
May all
Never
your
noticed
endeavors
her.
add to
Just
the equation.
blended in with.
Oh, hello. A visitor. Who is it they're sending now? And who are you, dear? You're what? Some maverick for hire? Oh, no, I can see it now. Earth Directorate, yes? Like Commander Zane and that rascal Buddy. And who is that you brought with you? A friend? Ah, an Auntie's Choice grafted soldier. You poor dear. And someone else. Oh my! That Earth Directorate support mech is a design classic. All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. Oh, believe you me, I'd like to know that more than anyone. I am thoroughly unaware how anyone would think me capable of all this. Yes, that was terrible. I feel awful. Though technically speaking, they did kill each other. I didn't mean that to happen. They came at me, weapons drawn. My own training just took over. You see, years ago, I attended an introductory course at the Physical Education Center. I earned top marks. dear me, I wish I did, but... Actually, there may be a way you could gain answers here. The firing record should contain all relevant details regarding the launch. Why, yes, I could unseal access to the records repository for you, and open the path leading there. I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. If you need to hear me say it, surely. I promise not to destroy this facility with all of us in it. Was that reassuring enough? Appreciate your help, dear. Please return when you have found something. May the plan favor us against long odds.
Always account for standard deviation. Patrol's back, I hear. Don't see anti-TNT this week.
Our Earth Directorate friend. Hello, I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were away. Understand you've met?
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time. Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. I appreciate even your hesitant support. Now, I believe you had an update for Initiate Alva.
You've examined the launch records, yes? What did you find? I'd say they've obviously been altered, dear. Fancy that odor you detected, a sign of chemicals used to effect the falsification. Ah, but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent imagination. But still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. There should be ample time for regret later, dear. For now, I'll admit the armchair investigator in me wonders about Proctor Svoboda. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply 2 further avenues of inquiry. A Zeranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think?
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would likely look to do it there.
I expect the Zeranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit. All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender.
May all your theories prove true.
Had plenty of managers like Svoboda back on Tau Ceti. Couldn't take responsibility for nothing. This initiate. Can't quite put my finger on it, but something's off. Like she's playing games. But I can't say I trust the Proctor any better. Hopefully a bit of investigating will clear things up for us. Once we find the perpetrator, we can be sure to head off any further attacks on Auntie's choice.
Over here!
Kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. strange question, but yes, all commands pass through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush, or both. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day. Well, that's about everything I know about everything. Let you be on your way. Careful on your way out. Try not to be liquefied and subsequently devoured.
And may the plan guide you.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
You'd think if she were responsible for the attack, she'd have happily thrown it in my face.
Respecting one's elders is considered good manners in most colonies. Exceptions may be made for violent offenders.
Ah, yes. Suppose you'll do. I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by, but you appear reasonably apt. The Zeranium overflow vending has gone completely haywire. Oh, what else will this higgledy-piggledy nightmare of a day bring? I was ordered to keep watch until a specialist arrives. Might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of Zeranium is up yonder in refinery logistics. If so, I have something for your time and effort. Well, as a fellow student of science, you'll be especially interested in what I have to offer. We developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas, it's yours. Tremendous. Why, this day may average toward the positive yet. May deliberate endeavors beget expected results.
Yeah.
You're back. I see my choice in you was well-founded.
Always account for standard deviation.
Oh, hello, dear. Why, we were just talking about you.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the Order is, always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take, except perhaps to throw blame elsewhere.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. And yes, why would I reroute coordinate commands away from here? I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring with an outside party, so I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you dears to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Yes, I concur. That may be the only part of this that seems certain. You are far more capable than some back manufactory button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name is not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint.
Searching service record. No additional names found. Obscenities were excluded from the search.
I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. The rumors about your department. They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid.
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda. I cannot be party to this, but neither shall I stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it?
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation. I appreciate your practicality. Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. Yes, though I was aiming for her face. Little rusty. Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Updating threat assessment of Marisol Delgado to Hi.
Unseal the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look. This space used to be brimming with runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors. Yeah. Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Clemens? The archivist? Ah, that follows, I suppose. Still more that I missed. This whole affair reminded me of the old days. The blood, the secrecy, the calculations and intrigue. Been trying to tell myself I didn't miss it. But in action, I fear, ill suits me. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
Supposing that means no joyrides and no scratching the paint? I can manage that. Until later, Commander.
Excellent. Well then, I am quite ready to leave this place.
Investigator. May all your theories prove true.
What is with the anomalous behavior?
I realize you didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here. I can't completely argue with that. I recognize you've done right by us here today, and I appreciate your efforts.
Investigator.
May circumstances proceed toward intended results. Always account for standard deviation. All your endeavors add to the equation.
I made the...
Notice. The following points of interest have been identified. Matriarch's Mercy, Alexandra Monastery, the statue of the Matriarch, and notice.
Resorting to violence. Consider self-preservation a priority. Stand by, Super 5.
Requires this unit is currently unable to assist. Resuming hostility. Standing by with life support.
Reviving me is in everyone's best interests.
Watch.
Thank you, dear. Try to limit further damage, Commander. Suffered extensive damage, Commander. Yeah. Yeah.
Day 206. Morale? Low. Condition? Feeble. Voucher mech. Watching. Always watching. Many have left for Matriarch's Mercy, seeking refuge with the Order. The fools. Can't they see the Order is no different from the Protectorate? The order won't...
Incessant muttering to oneself may disturb fellow passengers. Further conduct violations may warrant notification of the Sentinels.
Try it, you doddering rattletrap. Such threats compel me no longer. I now answer to no one. I've seen through the lies of both sides. In time, everyone will.
Unwarranted optimism may be a sign of a more serious imbalance. Please see a curativist before boarding.
what career you are meant for. Act now and receive
Mobilizing. Vitals are in the red, Commander. Proceeding to attack.
Ready to assist with agent's health needs.
Vitals critical. Don't become a statistic, Commander. Medic, please!
Possible in this unit's current state. Mind the needles.
Newell sent you to my manufactory to lower tensions with Auntie's Choice, I take it. Have you tried talking with them directly? Well, sometimes that level of directness is required. I'm not advocating that in this situation, however. The Order has been made out to be in the wrong here. It would be a shame for hostility. May the plan...
You'll try to limit further damage. Fortification in progress. Mitigating the threat.
Benefits available.
Mobility interrupted.
You've suffered extensive damage, Commander.
Hostiles detected ahead. Recommended.
Vitals are in the red, Commander. Fortificator at ready status.
Making strut.
Suture me up. It'll improve your odds.
You're dying. Which is not the case at this time.
Hostilities are afoot. Weapon ready, Commander.
Resuming hostilities.
Consider self-preservation a priority.